Folks, welcome to your week. This is So Bad It's Good on the road. I'm not on the road this week, but our co-host is. She is currently in Charleston about to do a tasting for her upcoming wedding. Screw Coachella. This is the ticket to get. We have the one and only back with us to start the week right, Sophie Ross. Sophie, what is going on?
Ba-ba-doo! It's easy. Hello. Yes, I'm reporting live from the Courtyard Marriott, Charleston.
Wait, so you're there with your fiance and your mom's there too?
My parents and my future in-laws.
Wow, so they're all there to do the tasting.
Yeah, we're all doing our tasting tomorrow. We, had a fun day of exploring. Wait. My mom's calling me. Let's see what she says. Wait. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Please hold. Hi. What's up? Am I being too loud?
No. What was going on out in the hallway?
Oh, Henry was trying to open his bottle of funny pills from the dispenser.
Wow. Sophie's mom just called into the show, a live caller. That was amazing.
I know. I'm sorry. I acted like it was really serious. So Ryan paused and I'm like, that would have been fine. Basically, my fiance is trying to open a bottle of edibles that won't open. So he asked the front desk to bring up a hammer. And I guess they're hammering in the hallway. And my mom was like, what is that? So yeah, I'm in Charleston with my parents, my fiance, and my future in-laws, and it's been so nice. The weather is perfect. Every time I come to Charleston, I'm like, I want to move here. And I just found out that Ryan has never been to Charleston. And
no,
for my wedding.
We've never been, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see Republic sewing down south. Miss Patricia's house. You said you drove by Sewing Down South today, and you said
walked by it.
Walked by it. What was the vibe? A line out the door.
It was Sunday. I think we've only actually walked by it when it's closed, actually, because it was last night, and then tonight we walked by it and it was already closed. But it's usually really popular. Republic is obviously craziness on a Saturday night, which is when we walked by it last night.
Craig, if you're listening, can we get a message to Craig to have him unblock me? I feel like I feel like I really kissed this man's butt, and I really would like you don't even need to follow me. I just want to be unblocked. Does Craig follow you?
If you're listening to this, no, Craig doesn't follow me. No, Craig. But I was telling Ryan, we got the
you got the things open.
Happy Pills open. But
Happy Pills are open.
I was telling Ryan that the main t-shirt they always have in the front of Sewing Down South, when you walk by, it's what's wrong with my sewing?
See, Craig is such an inspiration because he took something that was made fun of, he got made fun of a lot, and he made it into an industry. A lot of people don't do that. That's something a lot of people get crushed by people making fun of them, and this man turned it all around. And he
really did. He really did. You gotta respect it. Shep is seething.
Yeah, Shep just drives by there every time or just walks by, just pouting every time. Listen, I want to talk about Vanderpump Rules, obviously, and Coachella, but since you talked about Craig Conover, I've got to tell you, you're going to be upset with me right off the bat. I've turned a major corner on Paige DeSorbo. I think I like Paige.
You're allowed
I'm sorry.
To.
I think I like Sierra too. West makes me like Sierra.
I've also moved on from the Hannah burner of it all. I feel like I'm better able to disconnect Paige from Hannah more now that it's been a couple years. But yeah, Sierra is very likable this season. You know what it is about Craig though? I will never forget his Winter House appearance, which was only, 2 years ago, where he said that he was first generation wealth and had too much money to clean up after himself and was overall a drunk idiot.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm sorry. And I know that he apparently has cut down on the drinking. So, you know what?
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
He supposedly doesn't drink hard alcohol.
I'm just, I still remember that with Craig. I'm not forgetting.
Well, the thing with Craig that's interesting too is that if you think about Paige makes fun of Craig all the time. So much so that he's like, do you love me, Paige? I love you. He's constantly needs constant like
Yeah.
affirmation. But
Yeah.
Naomi did the same thing to him. Remember, Naomi used to make fun of him too. And I think Craig likes a woman that makes fun of him.
He definitely does. He definitely is into the girls where they like him a little less than he likes them.
Yes, isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's his type. That's his type.
Now, do you think West and Sierra are going to go the distance? Do you think they're still dating? Because they did the mid-season trailer this week, and there was a scene where Paige was asking West, "Hey, listen, have you slept with anybody else? I'll kill you if you mess around on my friend." And it looked like he was hesitating before he answered. Do we think that him and Sierra are still together?
I don't think they are.
Yeah, I don't think they are either.
I think they were maybe like a couple months ago, but I have been reading that they're no longer together. But they did date after the show, apparently. But I'm kind of like maybe turning on West. Like when he has a preoccupation with like, well, like we haven't had sex yet. It's like, well, why is that anyone's business? Take it like.
Well, and your favorite Jesse Solomon. This guy, Sophie.
Anymore, you guys, he's not my favorite anymore.
What happened?
What happened was I have learned new information about him from people that have either worked with him before. By the way, I heard he got fired from his job for being on Summer House. So that's some tea. Allegedly got fired from his job. And according to his LinkedIn, he stopped working he had like a good like finance job.
You went on his LinkedIn?
Yeah. I mean, why?
By the way, See, I don't go on LinkedIn, and I'll get this email every week that says like, you appeared in 30 searches this week. And I'm like, what the hell is anybody having me in their search for? Like, who is searching for me? Like, I don't even put work into my LinkedIn.
I've definitely looked at your LinkedIn before. I've looked at, if you're listening to this, I've probably looked at your LinkedIn too.
Wait, so you were on Jesse Solomon's LinkedIn. He allegedly lost his job because of Summer House.
Well, I heard that. Yes, I heard it from, I'm not going to reveal my source, but a good source. And then I checked the LinkedIn just to like, corroborate. And I also heard that we know he's like a fuckboy, but
we saw it this week.
A fuckboy in like a big way from people that like would know. And I'm not into him anymore.
Okay, well, this is good information because this is fun because I'm talking to Jesse Solomon on Wednesday, and my opening line was going to be like, "Hey, my friend's getting married. Would you be like at her bachelorette party?" And now I'm going to have to rethink the whole interview because of this. But this Jesse Solomon, what he does, it annoys me though. He does this thing where he's like, have you seen how he compliments Amanda Batula on her Instagram? Like, your kid's going to say they have the hottest mom. Or when like Sierra, it's like, Sierra, you're so beautiful. It's a little too Eddie Haskell, like kind of too flirty, I think, with like people that are like, taken.
He's laying it on a little too thick. That's the thing that's getting me now. I'm like, okay, you're like trying a little too hard.
Wait. Are you saying all of this because your fiance is in the room with you? Is that why you're saying that you've turned on Jesse Solomon?
Like,
by the way, Sophie texts me after, "Hey, take out all that stuff about me disliking Jesse now."
Yeah, you can like still use me as like your pickup line, your opening line. Jesse Sauls. So basically, Ryan also posted a clip of us where I was talking about him. And I tagged him, not thinking, like for some reason I'm acting like he's like Beyonce, like he gets too many tags. Like obviously, like not even that.
He saw it immediately.
He immediately responded, and he was like, "You seem great, but like engaged girls aren't my type."
Oh, see, this is why you've turned against Jesse, because he shot you down in the comments.
I thought it was funny.
But by the way, this is an excellent season of Summer House. It truly is. Like I look forward to watching this season more than any other show on Bravo, like that's on the air right now.
No, Summer House is great. I realized that too. That like I couldn't watch The Valley and Vanderpump live, and then with Summer House also, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch Summer House first out of the three, which is like really surprising, even though In the Valley was second and Vanderpump was last.
Third. That's what, everything about I said this, I did a Patreon this week and I said that the least exciting thing about Vanderpump Rules is the show. Everything else around the show is so much more interesting than the actual show. Like the show itself is just so dark and weird. And then you get all of the real information from all of their podcasts and all of their Instagram posts. And that's a whole nother kind of layer of sickness that goes with the show, but it's not a fun viewing experience. I don't know if it has been for the last couple of years, but it's like a really dark viewing experience where Summer House is dark, but I still like it because I'm like, they're drinking together. They're like doing activities in the backyard.
I saw someone say that the difference between the Summer House people and the Vanderpump people, like Summer House, they're like douchebags, but the people on Vanderpump Rules are like actually like evil sociopaths.
Well, no, I don't even think it's like, I don't think they know they're evil sociopaths except for Jax, but I think they've just been in the game too long and they've now hit like multiple levels of fame, like ridden the wave up and down. So I don't even think they understand what their minds are doing anymore. Like Lala is let's just get it. Lala is on a different planet. Like, and by the way, the only defense people keep giving me for Lala is like, listen, she's trying to make a show happen. I'm just that person that like, I would rather my reality stars just exist and like, let the producers deal with what they need to. Like, I don't need, but the thing is, that's the one argument that they'll always say for Lala, but then she just does, she's like trying so hard.
Right. And if she were like stirring shit up and then kind of like taking accountability for it, like that would be one thing, but like she's so defensive and like non-apologetic and shady, and like that's why it's like so unlikable, you know?
But it's not even on the show. It's like it's a little bit on the show where she's like trying to build bridges with Sandoval and things like that. But then you have the stuff she's doing off the show. This week, the big one was that she unfollowed Katie Maloney and Ariana Madix on Instagram. Like, these are people well into their 30s. So she unfollowed these two people. But the funny thing is, you go through Lala's list. She said on an Amazon Live that she did it like because of astrology and angel numbers and all of this like wackadoo stuff that like, of course you're going to say stuff like this.
Yeah, she doesn't own up to it. Like,
well, no, she still follows Tom Schwartz. She follows Tupac Shakur still. She follows Tupac. Like, I'm not joking. She literally follows Tupac. And then she's like, so
is Tupac. She literally is Tupac reincarnated.
But imagine getting unfollowed and then going through this and going, okay, she follows Amy Schumer, Teresa Giudice, Michelle Obama. Okay, I'm like Nicole Byer, Theo Vaughn, Donald Trump, Heather Dubrow. No, she doesn't follow. But I'm like, she follows all of these people. But she unfollows Lala unfollows Katie and Ariana and then tries to make an excuse about it.
Just say
it with your whole chest. Say you hate them. Just say you're annoyed. Just say that.
Exactly. Wait, did you see the recent tea about Joseph?
Oh, dude, I did. Well, yeah. Well, so I did I got LASIK surgery on Thursday and I didn't do a show on Friday.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. How are you? How are your eyes?
They're still here. They're on. Like,
and they're still baby blue.
Yeah, thank God. I asked him. I said, "Well, my doctor did Brad Pitt's eyes and Kelly Clarkson's eyes," and I was like, "Look at this! Look at where we're at. The level of eye doctor that I'm at was like insane." And I just said, "Please don't like the blue eyes is the only thing that I have going for me." And he said he wouldn't hurt that at all. He assured me, but. I didn't release an episode on Friday, and then I released one last night because I got the hankering to do a podcast, and it was all about Joe being on Rachel Goes Rogue, Raquel's podcast. But at the very end, I read the tea that I think you're about to say. Say the tea about Joseph.
That her real name is Kaylee?
Kaylee is, it's not Joseph, it's Kaylee.
Yeah, it's Kaylee, and she ran away with someone's boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, and that, so let me find this blind item. It was sent to the account Drunk Drawn, who, if you don't follow, does like just this insanely amazing artwork. But it was saying that this person, Joe stole her boyfriend in the same way that Schwartz speaks about their relationship, like kind of like hippity dippity. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. So for a little tea, An ex of mine from the mid 2010s suddenly began getting weekly haircuts from her in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So naturally, she became a person of interest. He ended up cheating on me with Joseph, real name Kaylee. We broke up and then they moved to LA together to live out some bizarre spiritual journey, similar to what Schwartz said about them going on a journey.
Mhm.
I haven't revisited this stuff emotionally for so long, but Vanderpump is my favorite show, and now she's on it. Rude. So Kaylee, aka Joe, aka Joseph, potentially did this. And that's what, did you listen to Rachel Goes Rogue or read any of the recaps about it?
No, I actually didn't.
Well, okay. So I listened to it and it's so funny what they will and won't talk about because, I think after last week's episode, we all had a lot of empathy for Joe in that situation with Schwartz. And the one thing that I really am learning throughout all of this, according to Joe, they were fully dating. Like they were fully dating. It wasn't just like hooking up. But it wasn't just like hooking, like they were like, according to Joe, fully dating, fully in a relationship, still sleeping together during that season of Vanderpump Rules. And that's the brutal part. But then she'll like go back and forth of like, but he's so amazing. We don't talk anymore. He has a girlfriend, but he's so amazing. I want the best for him. Back and forth, back and forth. And that's a whole nother conversation. But Rachel, you have Joe on your podcast. This is a big interview in terms of Vanderpump Rules. They totally do not talk about how they all were double dating with Sandoval and Schwartz before Ariana found out. They conveniently skip any of that conversation at all. Like that would be the thing that I would want to know. And then Joe goes on to say, oh my God, the production was so amazing on Vanderpump Rules. Some of the cast bullied me, but they were so amazing about bringing my story out and showing that, I didn't see all this going on with Schwartz. And I was like, wow, Rachel's going to be quiet because Rachel's currently suing Vanderpump Rules and Bravo and did not have a good experience with production. So it was this really weird conversation, but also it's interesting when more stuff comes out about Kaylee or Joseph's life, because like everybody has bodies buried somewhere, right? Everybody's hurt somebody or done that, but Joe's positioning herself as this, she's a victim in a sense, but she's positioned, right. I don't know. She's trying to pull at heartstrings when I think from the beginning, she knew she wanted to be with Schwartz from the beginning. Like he did.
And again, I don't know her personally, but based on these stories and from watching the show, she sounds a little bit manipulative. That said, Schwartz is clearly extremely manipulative.
Yes.
And so the last episode did make me feel bad for her, for sure.
I know. Well, and that's what supposedly at the reunion, Joe obviously is in the reunion and she talks about all that experience. And I think it comes out that the cast realizes that Schwartz lied to them even about the extent of their relationship, that they were dating and things like this. So I think that's great that she actually...
Doesn't she reveal at the end of last episode? She was like, "We're still sleeping together."
We're still sleeping together.
Like
yes.
She literally said that, and she actually also was kind of trying to pretend that it was like kind of a casual thing from the past.
Yes.
Like she wasn't acting emotionally invested, which she very obviously is.
But yeah, she's in love with him. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in love with him, and Schwartz also is like famously extremely charming and.
I would sleep with Schwartz. I would make out with Schwartz. Your fiance would make out with Schwartz. And we would all make out with Schwartz, period.
He just like, even us, the viewers, we're like, wow, we really bought into like I'm single for the first time in so long. And it's like, well, clearly you're not.
Well, but I mean, like, listen, Schwartz is a funny dude that is very charming, but Schwartz was like, we have to remind people Schwartz was actively sleeping with other people during his marriage, like he just did it in such a charming, drunk way that it wasn't, so it's very different than Sandoval because Sandoval fights back everything. He's like, no, dude, you're the one that didn't get the pins and batteries. He's like angry. Schwartz is like charming of like, I guess I did do. He's like Urkel. He's like, did I do that? He's like so charming where even with this information about Joe, I still kind of like, I'm just like, well, ladies, you know what you're getting into at this point. I still have ladies that go into my DMs going, I'd still fuck him. Like literally, those are like verbatim. I'd still hook up with Schwartz. Like I want to do a poll on my Instagram this week. Who would still sleep with Schwartz? And I bet you 98% would.
I probably would.
It was not Jesse Solomon.
You know what? Oh my God. But you know what's funny is that like I feel like everyone's like, oh my God, Katie and Schwartz like have like so much sexual chemistry now that they're divorced. I'm like, he still hates her.
Yes.
You guys, he still hates her.
Oh my
promise
God.
you.
Oh my
I
God.
promise.
We got to talk about the love triangle.
Yeah, wait,
That
what's her
girl
name?
barely Tori, that girl barely looked like she has her GED. Like I felt so awkward. Like I mean, already I'm a grown man watching Vanderpump Rules, so I already feel awkward, but I felt so awkward seeing like she looks so young, you guys. And it's a weird storyline out of the gate. And Katie Maloney has a bigger dick than Schwartz, hands down. Like, there's no competition. Katie Maloney would pull women. And I said this on the recap on Thursday. I got so many DMs of being like, yeah, dude, I'd hook up with Katie. So many ladies saying that they would totally hook up with Katie. I just don't want to see her hooking up with a 21-year-old. I don't want to see her hooking up with a really young one.
That was so strange. That was so strange.
They had a painting date. They were painting together.
It's like so weird. Like, do you feel like Tori? Like, I feel like Tori actually was into Schwartz.
Yeah, and then Katie like came up there with her big dick and was like, "What about me? Like, let's do this." It was
Tori
really
was
awkward.
Like, okay, I mean, like the cameras are here. Like, sure.
Okay, but then Tori said something, and listen, as a female, Tori said to Katie in their flirtation, she's like, "Have you ever hooked up with a girl before?" And Katie's like, "Well, I don't like to put labels on it, but yeah, I have." And Tori goes, "It's just better." Ladies, if it is just better, cut us men out. Like, obviously, we're not good for you guys. And not you, Sophie, you're locked in, but like everybody else, cut us out entirely. Like, if it's better, why are we even having this conversation? Just date women, period.
I know. If only it were that easy. If only
Why
it were
isn't it that easy? I was just watching Renee Rapp set at the Coachella live stream. She like brought out the cast of the L Word to introduce her, and she had like scissors on stage. And I was like, this is a girl that's like flat out going, I'm a lesbian. Like, let's just do that. Let's all just date women. Sorry, I'm too passionate about this. I
literally would if I could.
you're
but
game over. Game over. You're done.
But you know what? Yeah, and then sometimes you will like need a jar opened. And like sometimes men are the only, or like put furniture together, put a coffee table together. Like,
at least you're being honest about that, right? You need that brute dumb strength.
Right, exactly. Or you'll be watching Survivor and you'll see like the way that like a hot man named Burton will like chop with a machete. Like, that's hot to me sometimes.
Okay, yeah. So you're making a strong argument for that, but I just feel like when I watch those scenes, I'm like, especially if you look at Vanderpump Rules, there is no argument that can be made anymore that men are great. Like, there's no argument. So I'm like, why are we even having this conversation? Like, this is why the Lala thing frustrates me so much, because I'm like, this should be the season where all the women band together, like on The Craft or the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and just like fucking have a season of like hooking up with whoever they want to, coming down on the guys, making fun of Sandoval. I still think that would be a great show. People keep trying to argue with me going like, Lala's trying to put in like actual plot line. I'm like, that's not a plot line if it's fake. If it's like fake bullshit.
I want it to be AHS Coven.
Yes, American Horror Story Coven. Like, come on.
I know. But also that can be said for like every reality show. It's like the women are amazing. And the men, if we're just talking about the men on Vanderpump Rules or Southern Charm or like literally any reality show, it's like, bleh. Why would you ever choose?
Yes. Well, it does confuse me because I've watched so much of this stuff where I'm like, how are we even like, we have so much documentation. We have it in our personal lives. We have it on TV. It's like the reality of the situation. And yet Sandoval, like we'll just use Sandoval as an example. He's still able to comfortably exist. Like he's still able to kind of turn the tables in small ways and make things about him. He has a new assistant because he got rid of Anne, the lady assistant. And now he has an assistant that like looks like Tom's like jealous of the way he dresses. Did you see the assistant with the tattoos? He's like, oh, dude, you look like Adam Levine, dude. You're amazing.
Oh my God. Having his assistants like pick up his underwear. But yeah, do you feel like the Pump Rules editors are giving him a hero edit or trying to give him a hero edit.
I feel like every time they've tried, it's like Sandoval screwed it up for himself. Like, even if they give him like certain hero edits, he'll then do like this interview on the New York Times or the Nick Vialli podcast. He'll do those things where it kind of undercuts any kind of help that the show has given him. But I will say the one that like shocked me the most was like the Lala sitting down with him a couple episodes ago and going like, listen, I apologize because I'm coming from a place where I got triggered by my ex. And in no world does Lala Kent ever owe Tom Sandoval an apology of any sort. Like, especially on the same episode where we found out he let Maya the dog have 500 of his shit pills, you know, like just leave it lying around. Like, by the way, Ariana escaped this man and probably escaped a lot of tummy issues just escaping Tom Sandoval because he was like pumping her full of like laxatives all the time.
Oh my God. Ugh, the laxatives. That's so Tom Sandoval season 1 and clearly still season 11.
Yes, by the way, just imagine the smells coming out of that workout room with all that shit going through Tom Sandoval's body.
What's the workout mirror thing that they have that they like were like talking about on the show? I had to look up what it was.
He's like, I bought this at HE Buttercup, dude. I remember exactly when I got this mirror.
And yeah, and Ariana, but do you know what I'm talking about? Like the workout.
Oh, yeah. The tonal.
The tonal. Ariana was like, it's my tonal.
Yeah. I like when we use.
What the fuck is a tonal?
Well, tonal was like a workout system that was like starting to get big a couple of years ago. I don't think it ever fully took off, but I remember when she got that tonal because I think she did like an Instagram ad for it. And I figured they gave them to all the Vanderpump Rules cast members, but that other mirror that he's fighting over, this is the sad thing was that like, I remember like I have photos of me posing in front of that mirror with Jax's chunky sweater at Sandoval and Ariana's house when I did that interview with them. And I was like, and I thought, man, I'm on top of the world, man. I'm with my hero, Tom Sandoval. This is amazing. How can it get better than this? And Ariana was upstairs, like flipping through TikTok, watching Love Island. I was like, this is amazing. Cut to like so many years later. I'm like, I'm such a dork.
Everyone was so happy then.
Happy back then. Well, speaking of a man that has escaped prosecution this season is DJ James Kennedy. He is on top of the world right now because this weekend.
I thought you were gonna say OJ Simpson.
Yeah. OJ Simpson's on top of the world because that man got entered into heaven.
He escaped prosecution, all right.
Oh my God. Cue Sarah McLachlan's Arms of the Angel. This bastard OJ Simpson. Let's get into it. Is Henry a big OJ fan?
No, Henry's going, you're screaming. I'm sorry.
Sorry guys. I know I'm screaming.
Me. I'm wearing headphones. So it's my own. I don't need to scream. That's how I talk. I talk. No, you're not.
No, I know, but I just feel bad that I'm making you scream and then I'm going to try to bring it down.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. He's so sensitive. Oh my.
By the way.
He goes, I can hear it through my noise canceling headphones.
I love that he gets into this as we start talking about OJ. I mean, I was going to talk about DJ James Kennedy, but OJ Simpson did pass away from prostate cancer, and I believe he was 76 years old. And let's just call a spade a spade. I don't care what documentary you've watched or something. OJ Simpson brutally murdered his wife Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman.
Yes.
He went to prison, not for that, for this whole other thing over robbery autographs. Yeah. Like he was trying to get back old autograph memorabilia and he used a gun was involved. Anyways, he served 9 years for that on a whole separate charge, but he lived out the life, not having to pay back the civil judgment levied against him from the Goldman family. And what's so rest in hell OJ about this is even his people this week said that the Goldmans will still not get any money from anything that is in OJ's inheritance or, whatever he's left behind.
Disgusting.
Did you ever watch, there is this, I remember I was fascinated with this documentary. It won an Oscar 5 years ago, but I think it originally was on ESPN about OJ Simpson. It was OJ Simpson Race in America, I think. It was like a 5-part. What was it? It was so good. It was one of the best things that I'd ever. Okay. OJ Made in America, I believe it's called, but it's like a 5-part docuseries. And it's one of the most brilliant things I saw because it takes you into kind of the story of race in America and why OJ Simpson meant so much because of his stardom at USC and what he did in the NFL and what he really meant. And then how he then used the race card in his defense. And even with all the blood evidence and stuff like that, it's really just this amazing documentary that puts a lot of things in perspective. And he went to heaven or hell, whatever you think, without ever admitting that he did this. There was no deathbed confession, even though there's a rumor out there that his kids had to sign an NDA on his deathbed, which I don't believe. But, guess who did comment about it?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, baby, it's me. Yeah. What up, OJ? It's me. I'm going to comment. Caitlyn said, good riddance. Good riddance. And then, you guys, Caitlyn, this is why the internet remains undefeated at times. People are like, Caitlyn, Caitlyn, if you don't remember,
Killed someone.
Killed somebody. It was accidental in her car on the PCH freeway, but killed somebody in her car. And people on the internet quickly, pointed that out.
Pipe down, lady. Pipe down.
And Caitlyn was like, how dare you? He murdered brutally. He said, I'm going to kill you, Nicole. I did it accidentally because I'm a woman driver. Like, he was so, she was so, like, she wants to get involved in any kind of issue, but she never takes into account her own, her own past at all.
Yeah. It's like, if you're going to point fingers about murder, make sure your hands are clean.
I mean, kind of even if it's accidental. Sure. And by the way, I'm so sorry. I did say I was not even trying to misgender at all. I want to make that very, very clear. I was just going very
back
fast.
And forth between talking about OJ Simpson and talking about Caitlyn Jenner. There's a lot to keep up with. This is high intensity conversation.
No, but seriously, I've dealt with the death a lot this last year, but fuck OJ, man. Because OJ, he really did he kept coming out there and he would comment on things. He'd be like, the Oscars, that was a crazy Oscars this year. He would do these hello, Twitter world, it's me, OJ Simpson. That's how he would start. He goes, hello, Twitter world. He would do that repeatedly about just pop culture events. And I just thought, that takes balls, knowing that you killed 2 people.
And he also got away with it. And you could just go be quiet into the night. But
you just disappear. He wrote a book that never fully got released, If I Did It. Mm-hmm. If I Did It. And he did a television special that ended up not getting released where he talked about if I did do it, this is how I would have done it. And he also referred to another man being involved in the murder. It's just, it was insanity on top of insanity, but I highly recommend the OJ Simpson documentary. I'll put it in my Instagram stories because I remember seeing this 5 or 6, maybe 7 years ago. It blew me away. It really put everything into perspective. Sorry I'm so hate-filled about OJ.
You watched the Ryan Murphy show, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the People versus OJ Simpson? Yeah, David Schwimmer playing Kim's dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing show. And it also kind of helped explain what should have been a slam dunk trial, how they ended up losing it. It's crazy. It's such a wild injustice. But it makes sense when you watch it.
I was watching this clip this weekend of Robert Kardashian with Barbara Walters, because after the trial, he did say, he's like, listen, he never confessed anything to me, but the blood evidence was so damning. He's like, I do think in cases police do plant evidence, but I don't think there was this vast conspiracy against OJ. And so she was like, so do you think he did it? And he was like, I have my doubts. I can't say that he absolutely didn't do it. And she said, did he ever thank you for standing by his side from that entire trial? And he's like, no, OJ never did. And he's like, what's your relationship with OJ now? I said, we don't talk anymore. So it was just wild. OJ used every one of his connections, his powerful connections, and he was that male friend to other males. And that's why you got to check your male friends too, right? You can't, I think that's also what Ariana is screaming about in Vanderpump Rules, not to make the unfair comparison to OJ like Tom Sandoval likes to do for himself, but stop comparing me to OJ. But Ariana's saying listen, dude, he only respects other males' opinions. You guys got to check him because he keeps exhibiting the same form of behavior.
Right, exactly. And also just, a lot has even come out in the days since OJ passed away. People saying, hey, I had to sign an NDA, but I know for a fact that people were paid off about the ex-girlfriends that he also beat. Like, there were just so many, like, Nicole had complained to her friends a few days prior. Complained is not the right word, but had told her friends that, like, she was being severely abused, and they couldn't use that. They couldn't use. Yeah, the judge wouldn't let them use that in trial because it was quote unquote hearsay. Like, there was many.
There was 911 calls where it's like, you know who my ex is. He's OJ Simpson. Like, this is so well documented, right. And that's what's so crazy. But the law is this. It doesn't seem like either right or wrong. It's like this game of will almost, it seems like, with the law. We see it in a lot of Bravo cases as well. But yeah, it's a really wild story, and I'm glad that he's passed away, and rest in peace to the Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. What that whole thing started was because I was going to talk about DJ James Kennedy, because he had,
I know, I'm sorry. That was my day.
Well, yeah, DJ James Kennedy, he's having like a relatively light season, even though there's like rumors about him, but he had a dream come true last night because he played the Neon Carnival after party festival at Coachella. Brett Bolthouse throws this every year. Brett Bolthouse, you guys know from the Hills back in the day. Yes, Brett Bolthouse.
Heidi's boss on the Hills.
Yes, he's like the number, like, so he still throws this huge, like party that's so hard to get into unless you're an influencer or a reality star or celebrity. And DJ James Kennedy spun last night, and he's like, it's the greatest night of my life. This is the number one thing I've ever done in my life. I can't. So I was really, I gotta say, I was really proud of him in a weird way. But then did you see TMZ? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were side stage making out, and they say it was during DJ James Kennedy's set. So can you imagine he's playing like the Vanderpump Rules theme, and Travis is like, let's get our Mac on? Like, DJ James Kennedy did that.
Oh my God.
What if they made a baby last night? What if they went home and made a baby after seeing DJ James Kennedy's set?
Also, you know what I'm going to say next?
What?
The photo of Taylor Swift and Teresa.
Oh, Teresa, do you? Yeah, so there's so much Coachella stuff. So we have that with DJ James Kennedy, which is very exciting. I don't know if Taylor watches Vanderpump Rules, but they watched the DJ stylings of DJ James Kennedy. But earlier in the night, Ice Spice was playing in the Sahara tent. Now, if you're a celebrity, you get these special wristbands and you can go up to the front. And I saw earlier from a TikTok that Louis, Teresa Giudici's husband, was there with Teresa. And right behind them, like two people back, was Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Behind Taylor Swift was the influencer Pat the Puss. I think his name's Jake Shane. He's really funny. Was Jake Shane with? He wasn't with Taylor Swift. No. In fact, there's a really funny TikTok where you can see him frozen, and he's like, I couldn't say anything. I was frozen in fear. Like, you can see his face, like right behind her, like just panicking that she's right there. But they were there, and then Justin Bieber was in that same area. It's like Celebrity Central. And then this morning, Louis on his Instagram posts a shot during that set of Taylor and Teresa Giudice waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. What do you think Louis said to Taylor to get that photo? Do you think Taylor knew who Teresa was?
Or maybe Taylor asked Teresa for a photo.
No way in heck.
Maybe.
No, I think Louis was like, this is my beautiful wife. I love my wife very much. I'm trying to be a good man. I am a good man. Do not look into my finances.
I saw a tweet that was like, these are the two people with the most unhinged fan bases on the internet. And it's so true. It's so true.
Well, it's so shocking when a lot of your worlds collide, but also when you're like, oh, this is obviously all a simulation. Like, we're in the Matrix. Like, this doesn't happen in normal society.
There is something that's always a little bit like, whoa, when you realize an A-list celebrity like Jennifer Lawrence is like knows who Kyle Cook is, Like, it's like,
I don't know.
watch
Like
Bravo just like us, and how Rihanna follows Danielle from Summer House on Instagram. Like and Rihanna's famously like loves the Housewives.
Oh, did you see that Kristina Applegate this week said she was livid that Robin Dixon from Real Housewives of Potomac was leaving the show?
She was so mad. She was so mad. She was like, she is literally my favorite housewife of all time. And I'm like, first of all,
what a
all the housewives.
So random. I was like, Kristina, so random. Like Robin Dixon gets like, I was like, is this an April Fool's joke? Is this like something with the eclipse? Like I was so puzzled by it.
Yeah, because it's like, first of all, who like to meet anyone whose favorite housewife of all time is Robin Dixon, like that just like that would never happen.
I like Robin, but I've never been like Robin Dixon hive
all time. Yeah, Robin Dixon hive. Like, but Kristina Applegate, like it's just like
it's random on top of random.
And she was like mad. She was like extremely mad on Twitter.
I think like Nostradamus predicted that as one of the signs of the apocalypse. They said Kristina Applegate, an apple will fall from the tree and say that Robin Dixon is their favorite.
And stan Robin Dixon.
Well, also with the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, so they were making their way around the Coachella festival. And I got to tell you, for somebody, I've been to 13 or 14 Coachellas. They were, I'm allegedly, in my opinion, as a pop culture lover and somebody.
Wait, are you talking about Taylor and Travis?
Taylor and Travis. Now, Taylor and Travis. I allege that I think they were rolling their balls off last night. They were, and kids, I don't want to tell you what that, just look it up but they were like, it's exactly what Coachella should be. I'm glad they got to have that experience. Yeah. She was wearing his podcast hat, New Heights, and he was wearing a Happy Gilmore hat, which is classic Travis Kelce to name check the Adam Sandler movie. But I just thought
so funny. She's so funny, like wearing her boyfriend's hat. Like in that photo with Teresa, she was like wearing it backwards. It's just like
I just imagine that like she's having the Molly sweats and she's like, oh my God, this Italian lady just is like hugging me everywhere. And Louis like, yeah, let's get another one for the gram.
Like everyone being like, oh my God, they're like so in love, which they probably are.
Yes, two things can be true at once.
Like, yeah, exactly.
But that's what you do at those festivals. You do like illegal substances sometimes, and you get like randy with your loved ones, and you have fun to music. And it looked like, this is the thing. I watched a lot of the live stream because I still geek out about all this stuff. Vampire Weekend did a surprise set, which was great. Paris Hilton came out during the Vampire Weekend set, which was funny. Other people in the audience, you had Kyle Richards there wearing a Sublime shirt. Do you think Kyle Richards loves the band Sublime, or do you think that was just a fashion accessory?
I don't got no Santeria.
Kyle, what's your favorite Sublime song? So I was like looking for Morgan Wade.
That is by Sublime, but if it's not,
yes,
I'm sorry.
No, it is. It is.
Okay.
No, totally. You got it right. So we had that. We had Lana Del Rey headlining set on Friday, and she brought out Billie Eilish. She came in on motorcycles. It was really beautiful and ethereal and everything you would want. I imagine it would be a really special set to see live. And then,
oh my God, this is the only Coachella I've watched like from afar. I've never been to Coachella. That made me want to maybe go to Coachella.
See, listen.
But now I'm old. I feel like, did I miss the threshold? Where
no. I went 2 years ago. I mean, listen.
Taylor Swift is 30, is going on 35. So
I was talking to Rebecca last night. I said, I will be back on those fields again one day, because it really is a magical thing. And even if you see all the influencers posting, I get it. It's really annoying. But when you get there, it really is special and beautiful. And like, don't let the influencers ruin what an actual really great experience is. And I got to tell you, I was kind of like, whatever with No Doubt, but I watched their set. She killed it. Like Gwen Stefani, like I thought I wrote them off a little bit and delivered one of the best performances that I've watched. I just was blown away by No Doubt's performance, like top to bottom. I was there for Baychella. I was there. I thought this was excellent. I thought she really brought it out. I wasn't prepared to like it as much as I did.
Now I'm trying to figure out how I can like go next year.
You can go next weekend. It's a second weekend next weekend. They've not sold out
next weekend. It's Passover, you guys. That actually is kind of rude. Yeah, that actually is
Yeah.
kind of rude, but like whatever.
No, but every year I write that festival off. I then look at it and I see the performances, and they really do. Production value is at such a high level. It's so exciting. Tonight is Doja Cat, which I don't love Doja Cat, but I'll probably check it out. I watched Tyler, the Creator set. I watched Justice, this French DJ duo, which was amazing. Brittany Howard. I mean, the kid, like all the kids, like you want people to have the best time. I hope everybody that was there, if you're listening, you're having the best time. I hope you're not having the Coachella flu right now, because it takes a while to come down from all the dust and shit that you ingested over the weekend.
I was going to say the Coachella flu, that's from just like the dust and stuff.
Yeah, it's all the dust. And then like you really are in the extreme heat and then the extreme cold, and you're pounding like Heineken lights all day, like Kyle Cook. And so it's a lot. It's a 3-day festival, but it was so, I don't know. I just loved even watching the live stream. It was great. Do you listen to this girl, Chappelle Roan? Chappelle Roan? She's a pop, Chappelle Roan. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
Oh, she's excellent.
What's the context? Does it exist in the context, or did it just fall from a coconut tree?
Oh, you've had the happy pills. You're at Coachella right now. So Chappelle Roan, this girl, this pop star.
No.
Oh my God, you got to listen to her album. She played at Coachella. Her album's called The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, and it's excellent.
Oh my God, that could be like the title of my memoir.
Midwestern. Anyways, Coachella, awesome.
Also, to be fair, I like never know what's going on with music. Like, what do the kids listen to these days?
Well, they love the Renee rap. It seems like she was very popular on the field. They like the Ice Spice. They like Tyler, the Creator. I mean, there's like all this stuff that, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you kids like?
But you know what's weird is that my friend who was just home in Cincinnati, my hometown, was listening to Kiss 107, which is like the radio station there, and still playing Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, like good.
You know what I mean? Like all of the old hits.
Well, see, that's why I thought
we were in high school.
It was great that No Doubt was there to give a little bit of a throwback feel where I didn't think it would work, but it did. And you kind of want to give a wide breadth of music. Coachella used to also be a festival that was highly like alternative. And now it's kind of switched to like, it does a lot of K-pop. It does a lot of like, Bad Bunny was headlining last year. It's a lot of world music now. So it really is something for everybody. But I miss the days of like, it was just heavily alternative. And it was like, that was the music that I loved. But I just love when people like shit. It's just like fun to like watch people lose their minds over. Did
the Counting Crows ever have?
No. They wouldn't fit at Coachella. And I would be too nervous if Counting Crows ever played, because I would just hate I would hate the discourse around it. They'd be like, this guy, fuck him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Coachella, hope everybody travels safely today. Also in other news, BravoCon, it is canceled for this year. They have moved it to 2025, in Las Vegas, but they have canceled it for 2024.
What's going on with that? Like, why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a smart idea, because I think you're going to pretty soon have like a less Bravo shows on, because a lot of the Real Housewives. Right. So I think it's less things. It's a real big production to put on. And also the date that they would be having it on, it's right up there against like the 2024 elections. Like that would be the worst, is going into an election week at BravoCon, and like Bravo fans are at war with each other over politics. So that's
not great.
It's a lot, man. That's a Coachella all over again. So I'm glad that they moved it for a year. It'll pass really. The time will pass quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. A couple other things. Billie Eilish was at Coachella, and she announced her new album this week. It's called Hit Me Hard and Soft, coming out May 17th. Taylor Swift has a new album coming out this Thursday, The Tortured Poets Department. Are you excited about either of those albums?
Oh my God, I like totally forgot. See, the thing with, I love Taylor Swift's music, but it's like, it's
a lot.
So much. I like haven't even had time to like, fully even, like Midnight's was like, what, like 6 months ago?
Exactly. Well, that's a lot of people compare Taylor. A lot of people compare Taylor to me, because I release so many podcasts. Like we always get brought up in the same conversation. They're like, Ryan and Taylor, you guys release so much.
Like they work really hard. Obviously, it's just like a lot.
What are they trying to prove? It's like what's going on here?
Like get another hobby, touch grass.
Touch grass, exactly. No, I mean, I'm excited about both those, but you're right. Like we have to now dissect
Right.
a
And
whole
also,
other Taylor
like,
Swift album.
exactly. And like I was the type of fan where like I love 1989. 1989 is when I officially became like a Taylor Swift fan. Like, I'm not gonna say like stan, and then like love Folklore and Evermore.
Folklore. Oh God, I loved it.
Love a Lover, I thought was really good. Like certain albums of hers, I'm like, yes, loved it. Perfect, no skips. Midnight's like did not do it for me. And now I'm like, oh my God, what like sexy baby lyrics are we gonna get now? Like we're just gonna get like the more
like,
silly lyrics,
like borrowing my boyfriend's podcast hat. Like, are we gonna?
Karma is a cat. Like, I'm just like, I'm just not in the mood for it. You know, like I'm
No,
not
like
in the mood.
listen. Well, you're not in the mood until you hear it, and then you might be in the mood. Like all it takes is like a great song. So
I love it. Like if it's like Folklore all over again, I'll be like obsessed. So
I
like,
just think like at a certain point, she's gonna have to take a break. Like at a certain point, there's only so much money to be made. Like I was on Target, like looking at the vinyls, and they had like a clear vinyl of the new Taylor Swift. It was $45, and I was like,
and then she has the different like versions that have like different. Like I've actually like kind of read into this recently, where it's like
well, Billie Eilish came against this. Billie Eilish came out against this because all the different record variants, all the different colors. It's really bad for the environment.
And it's also artificially like boosting your sales numbers. Like it's like a sales tactic where you get to make more money and say that you broke all of these records because you have like 20 different types of vinyls that people can buy, and you have hardcore, extremely dedicated fans that are obviously going to buy all of them. Like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but at the same time, like I feel like there's going to be some documentary about like a bunch of like 22-year-olds during this time period that literally went broke trying to keep up with Taylor Swift merchandise.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, 100%. But Billie Eilish, I was watching Billie Eilish at Coachella because she popped up at a lot of sets. Billie Eilish, I found she dresses like Nelly. Do you remember the rapper Nelly? She was always like in the baggy. Like I feel like she's going to start wearing Band-Aids on her face. Like she dresses like Nelly, and I like her a lot. But it's just so Nelly.
I mean, she had said at one point that she wore baggy clothes on purpose because she didn't want men to sexualize her, which I thought was fair.
No, I don't care about like her. I'm just saying she looks like she dresses like Nelly. Like I don't care either. No. Monica Garcia from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was on the Nick Vialli podcast and announced that she is pregnant. Did you hear that?
Yes, and it's like, just bring her back then. Like I feel like we kind of need her back for this.
Yeah, bring her back where like her water breaks in the final scene.
Yeah. No, I'm like terrified of her and what she's capable of, but it's like we need to watch that. She hasn't revealed who the father is. Right? That's what
no, she did. No, she did. No, she did. He's a 29. He's 10 years younger than her. They met on a scene where her and Heather Gay were on snowmobiles. They met that day on that scene. He's 10 years younger than her. And he was like at this time, like dating other people at the same time. Like, so this was a complete accident. It's a complete surprise. She's not talking to her mother at all anymore, which is good. Oh, well, that's good, yeah. But like, I mean, I did not expect good for her, but I mean, just wild.
Congratulations to Monica, but yeah. I feel like I kind of want to watch it. Like I want to see what happens. I think that it's been so long now since the reality Von Tease reveal that I'm like forgetting how scary she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, but she's a terrifying person. But like,
well, I think she can be, but I think she makes great reality television. Yeah. And I mean, listen, her life is chaotic even without the cameras there. But imagine like she's on the scene, like on the show again, and Lisa Barlow, her water breaks, and Lisa's like, "You're crowning. I can't believe it. I can see the baby's head." And Whitney's like, "We're all aunts, all of us. We are all aunts of this beautiful girl." I would love to see them raise a child on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I would love that. And like, what's the season going to be otherwise? Like,
well, they have a couple new cast members that people have already delved into their history, and there's a lot of troubling like belief systems that we always see. Well, it's so funny about
whoever cast the Salt Lake City housewives, like, it's like that meme where it's like the guy like barely patting people down. before like going into like a venue.
Yeah. Get on in there. Like Jen Shaw like literally had knives on her. But well, the Monica thing, like last week, like a week ago, I was talking to Carlos King and he was talking about Monica, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to Monica and see if she'll come on the show. Like, listen, there like stranger things have happened. I could potentially get Monica. And I DM'd her, and literally the next day I see Monica on Nick Viall. I'm like, okay, well that's shot. Now I can't get Monica. Like I was like, I felt like we were almost at a place where I could get her. And now I'm like, oh, that's over. I was so pissed. I would love to talk to Monica.
I'm so sick of Nick Viall. I'm so sick of his ass.
Him and Freddie Mellencamp.
His thirst traps with his baby.
He was at Coachella this weekend. Did you see that?
I saw. Yeah.
Well, he's doing very good. He has a huge audience, so congratulations to Nick Viall.
Please. You're so fake.
Listen,
You think you're so the bigger person.
I just like how he's always like super chill. He's always like, yeah, so then what'd you say about that?
And he's like slouching, and he's just like,
yeah, because he's like a good looking guy, so he's just like, hey, what was that? He's like, so he has like a solo, like a red solo cup always.
Yeah, he's wearing like a really deep cut like wife beater and jeans and cowboy boots.
He's like, I shaved my chest hair and pubes today for this interview. You can just tell he's like one of those guys. I'm sorry, folks. I'm tired.
His eyebrows are like this, and then his like forehead is.
Okay, a couple more things. This is getting crazy. Okay, so do you know the rapper Drake? Don't you, Sophie?
I think I've heard of him. Yeah,
Drake.
Is this about his
rap
job
beef
allegation?
Yeah, Drake dropped a diss track, and it was all in good fun, I guess, but he was making fun of Kendrick, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross. He was like making fun of all of these. He was making fun of Future in the diss track. Like diss tracks are intense. Like, I'm so glad podcasters don't have diss tracks, because I would hate that. But they do this diss track, and he was making fun of Rick Ross, and Rick Ross came back and said, I know you got a nose job, and we know you got a BBL, and you got your abs done by a plastic surgeon. Like, so literally hit Drake out of nowhere and said, and then Drake went to his mom and texted his mom. He posted a text from his mom going like, did you get a nose job and you didn't tell me? And he's like, no, ma, I didn't, no, that's just boys being boys. I'm going to take care of business. I got this. You stay out of this, mom. And then Rick Ross is like, you called your mom on me?
How embarrassing was that? And also, like, Drake, deny it all you want. We have eyes. Also, Ryan just got LASIK. But wait.
Yeah, I got 20/20 now. I don't, like, if I had money, I'd get like 3 noses. I'd get a nose for going out, a nose for wearing around the house.
But also, like, for us, it'd be like, okay, but like, he's like supposed to be like a big bad rapper. Like, like rappers.
But Drake like sings on his songs. He's like smooth. So it's like, you got to choose sometimes. And like, it's all in good fun until it stops being fun. And like, I just hate to point out, we lived in the day and age of Biggie and Tupac. Like, there is like, I remember Tupac, one of the worst rap beefs. Like, have you ever heard the song Hit 'Em Up about Biggie? Like, I hit him up. Like, it is the most vicious rap beef track that I've ever heard. It is like, but it's like,
I know it. Yeah. Yes.
My 4-4 is going to make sure all your kids don't grow. Like, it was, on all of like, he went off on P. Diddy, it was an insane track, but like, people died over that shit.
That's like is that a TikTok where it's like the girl pretending to be like the backup singer on that song, and then she's like getting increasingly like scared of the lyrics?
Like, wait, whoa, yeah, it's wild. And now, like, well, listen, like, I mean, that's the scariest rap diss track, that Tupac one, and that's why Lala follows him. Lala has the spirit of Tupac in her, and I saw the hologram Tupac at Coachella back in the day, like 12 years ago, with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. They brought down a Tupac hologram out of nowhere, and I just thought, wow, that's wild. Like, they're just bringing out and he was like, what's up, Coachella? No, it was probably less than that. It was probably less than that.
Well, like, either way, they're gonna like 3D print him, like, with like an AI chat GBT like personality now. Like
tonight
it's like,
at Coachella, it's like, what's up, Coachella? It's me, OJ.
what's up, Coachella world?
What's up, Coachella world? No, I just feel like the Drake rap battle is like, dude, you have it all. Like, you must be so bored that you must be so bored that, like, why get into beefs with these people?
He's so embarrassing. He's so embarrassing. But yeah, it's like, I just love how he's never going to be like the big bad, like tough guy that he like pretends to be. Like, he's so funny and embarrassing
until something really bad happens. And then all of a sudden he's got like, what scares me is that like, you can only go to, remember the last time they did like a rap beef battle with Drake and it was Kanye West and who's that other rapper? Pusha T. And then it got revealed that Drake had a son, Adonis. That's how Drake's son got revealed, was through that rap beef.
That was actually insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
again, you better make sure your hands are clean when you're pointing fingers.
Exactly, you know? Sophie, exactly. Okay, let's see here. Real quick, the Golden Bachelor, Gary, and his new wife, Teresa, they announced their divorce after 3 months on ABC News. So the Golden Bachelor, Gary and Teresa, are not going to work. They never actually even moved in together. They just realized crazy. Like 70 years old and divorced, and hopefully Gary can get back on his feet.
Everyone watching the Golden Bachelor, I didn't end up watching it because I was like,
I loved it. I cried every episode.
Everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. Said they cried every episode. Said it was so sweet and genuine. It was like going to be the future of the show.
Yeah.
And they're still like the garbage, like
it's like
dumb
no, us men are garbage no matter what age we are. Like that's what's so great is like we're just garbage. But I swear to God, I loved that show so damn much. I loved it so much, and I'm bummed. I was bummed. I really was. I was bummed that they got divorced. And then like, it turned out Gary like had been with like dating other women. Gary was dating this hairdresser, Joseph. Get Gary on Vanderpump Rules. Let's get Gary like a bleach blonde dye job.
Joseph Nay Kaylee.
Yeah, Kaylee. By the way, wait, what did you think of Schwartz's dye job? I keep hearing from hairdressers that wasn't the way to dye hair.
I don't think she knows what she's doing. Like I don't know how I'm not a hairstylist, but she doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. Her hair always looks bad. And it seems like she actually was like trying to fuck up his hair. Like
people are saying that like, you're going to go kiss other girls, I'm going to fuck your hair up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Which was kind of epic of Joe. I will give her that one.
Okay.
Wait, what do you think of The Valley?
Well, that's what I was at. Jax and Brittany. So The Valley, I like it a lot. I mean, we're only 4 episodes in, but it is funny that they fight over this, racial comment and stuff, but we never really get down to the bottom of the like actual, like what was said, what it's about, like no conversation. Instead, we have like a lot of people like, no, you said it, Dodie, or you said it, Zach. And then you have Janet like eavesdropping. I think it was like, it's great, but it's just weird because it's like, I love when people like talk around things and I'm like, oh, none of this got solved. And then Jesse and Michelle Lally, they got like turned on by each other. They like hated each other passionately for the first couple of episodes. Yeah. And then this whole fight with Dodie happened. And then they were all turned on by each other all of a sudden, which was hysterical. What do you think?
Jesse scares me a little bit.
Well, that jacket he wore to that event was wild. Like Picasso.
Yeah. He just like, I don't know. There's something psycho about him. But and then him and Michelle obviously are now separated.
No, I think they're back together, somebody told me, which would be wild. So weird. Now? Somebody told me they were. God. Can somebody tell me if I heard the right thing or not? But yeah, somebody told me they're back together.
You guys let us know.
Can you guys let us know?
I feel bad for Kristen because I do actually believe that she was repeating. And then Janet doesn't have to take accountability because she's pregnant. Like,
well, yeah, I wouldn't want to upset. Well, listen,
you don't. Also, you don't want to upset her. You're right.
No, but there is a world in which, like, I'm sorry, like everybody texts with their friends and talks shit. Like, I do think there was a world in like, well, you got to be careful of this person. Like, who knows what they believe. Like, I'm sorry. That's like, and by the way, that's why I think Janet will be a popular character because everybody does shit like that. Also, like everybody's like,
wait. Do you remember that Jasmine was actually on Nick Vialli's season of The Bachelor? She was a contestant.
Mhm. Yep.
Which
And
I was like, why does she look so familiar? That was why. And she was on Bachelor in Paradise.
I went out
So,
to drinks
fun
with
fact.
her like a couple years ago, like right when the pandemic was letting up. I remember being at like Tom Tom with her and Janet and somebody else. And she was telling me like how they had wanted her on Vanderpump Rules that season. But this is where I found out that they were offering such little money to new cast members. Like new cast members, you don't get it. They offer like, we're talking very minimal money, but they say you'll make it up in like, endorsements on Instagram and stuff like that. But she said no initially to Vanderpump Rules. So I'm excited to see her on the Valley, and her girlfriend, I've seen them a couple of times and they seem really cute together.
Yeah,
But
I really like Jasmine on the show. I think that Jasmine and Zach, it's kind of funny. They're like their own little, like it feels almost like a separate thing.
Yeah.
But I'm into it. And also,
Jax and Brittany.
Jax and Brittany. Also, Jax saying that Cruz's developmental delays are because of him getting vaccinated. He said this on social media, not the show.
I know. He said this on social media this week. I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-Jax. And I feel like that is...
I'm an anti-Jaxer.
I'm an anti-Jaxer, and I have conspiracy. No, I feel like that's like, this is so funny. This is what we've unleashed. Like we're now getting back to classic Jax.
Wow,
we're getting back to him arguing with people in the comments. We're getting to him like calling people ugly. This is old Jax. We just had like gone away from it for a couple of years. He's never really changed for better or worse.
No.
If you love him, you're probably having the time of your life watching this mess. If not, but I'm kind of sad because Brittany it does seem like he does not give a rip. Brittany, like he made Brittany get another place because he was going to keep the actual home. So he made her leave. And then Cruz's birthday was this weekend. Did you see the cake fall on the video?
Yeah. Oh my God. Was that like planned?
It almost looked so perfectly bounced that I thought it was planned. Like I was like, is this staged? Because the bounce was so funny.
I watched it 25 times in a row. Like that was
you got to see it. Zach Wickham from the Valley posted it, but the cake bounces. And it's so interesting because like Jax and Brittany are living in two separate things, but they're always like together, working together. And, Brittany was on Not Skinny, Not Fat's podcast this week and just really talked about him not wanting to have sex with her. And she's talking about like potentially seeing other people. And I mean, it's really seems very far along.
She's on every podcast and like every red carpet being like, well, there's only so much you can take when someone doesn't want to have sex with you anymore.
Sex with you, yeah. He didn't want to have sex with me. He made fun of my body and stuff like. I'm like, wow.
I'm sorry,
so
and like with
open.
Lindsay and Carl also, like Lindsay saying that Carl never wanted to have sex with her. I'm like,
oh my God, we didn't even talk about that.
I'm sorry. If like
two times in a month in the summer.
Like, what is with people being like, he didn't want to have sex with me? I'm like, why are you telling everyone this?
No, I literally will watch these shows and I'll look around I love to know the dirt. Like, I don't even know if I want to know this dirt. I don't want to know that Carl couldn't finish. I do not want to picture Carl being like, Lindsay, I'm sorry. You're so beautiful. I'm sorry. I can't. Like, I don't want to even picture that.
Carl not finishing. Like, I'm sorry.
And Lindsay just like openly talking about it in the kitchen with Andrea.
That's while they were still together. They were still together.
And she was like, well, listen, he just doesn't want to upset me. Like he loves me so much. He doesn't want to upset me. And he wants to make sure I'm pleased. But she's like, I'm not finishing either. And I was like, okay. And Andrea's like, Zoe, oh my God, you're not even finishing? Oh, crazy, And then there's Craig like trying to pound Paige and he chants against your Mamma Mia. That's a good meatball. Okay. But anyways, Jax and Brittany, it's a mess. Things keep coming out every week. So it's like the Jax and Brittany summer of discontent. And then finally, as we wrap up here, we have new competition in the podcast front. This is, did you see this? We love a rebrand is Bethany Frankel. It's no longer Just Be the podcast. It's Just Be Divorced. She has rebranded her podcast where she finally is talking about the details behind her 30-year divorce that's gone on forever with Jason Hoppy. So she is rebranded. And get this, Sophie, her episodes are like 11 minutes long. So we're talking about Taylor Swift, like, keep releasing. She's released like a couple episodes. One's 20 minutes long. One's 11 minutes, and that's including ads. So she has rebranded and said, finally. And this is what we're just talking about with Brittany and Jax. Imagine like trying to keep rebranding over personal pain. You're like, okay, Reality Reckoning didn't hit exactly the way I wanted it to. I don't want to talk about Housewives anymore because I'm trying to sue everybody. So now I need to rebrand to a divorce podcast. It's so dark.
She's so embarrassing. Just embarrassing.
Do you have any desire to listen to that?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Yeah, me either. I just wanted to make sure.
Wait, also, did you see? I'm sorry, I'm circling back. I was still thinking about Jax and Brittany.
I was still thinking about Carl and Lindsay not having sex.
I know. I'm still thinking about Carl not finishing. No, when it was a clip, maybe it's like a preview of the next episode where Jax is talking to Brittany and he's like, you want another kid? Act like a mom.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, because she had a couple drinks. Like, don't do this, Brittany. Don't do this. He's like, obviously, Brittany will have probably had a couple drinks. Like, and so Jax shames her for that. I'm telling you, this is not going to like end well for them.
So glad we gave him a platform again. As much as I'm loving it.
Well, I mean, it's like, be careful what you wish for. Like, you're going to be able to pay your bills, I guess, but obviously your marriage is almost completely through. And you know, if they split up, Jax 3 years from now will be completely like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I really want to be with you again. And also, if you're going to bring Faith back into the conversation, let Faith be on the Valley. Bring Faith back in. Let Faith and Jax have a conversation on camera. Well, let's really get into it.
And now Faith is suing Bravo.
Faith is part of the Reality Reckoning. She has the same lawyers as
how many lawsuits right now is like Bravo fielding?
I just imagine the phone calls over at Bethany of like, just be suing. How can I direct your call? Anywho, so anyway, so Sophie, just be suing.
How can I help you?
It's me, Jill Zarin. Is Bethany there? I would love to be included on this. They didn't treat me well on Below Deck a couple of weeks ago. I would love to be on your papers, on your legal papers.
Oh my God.
Sophie, you did it. You did it. You have a big day tomorrow. Thank you for still doing this with me. I know we've been shouting in your fiance's ear the last hour. So hopefully you can take some happy pills and have a great rest of your night. Anything to keep an eye out for this week for you?
I'm right now on my 6th season of Survivor in a row. So, or maybe it's my 7th.
I want to remind people she's not even watching the current season. She's not even watching the current season, you guys.
I'm watching all the seasons because everyone says that season 16 Micronesia, the season that Parvati wins, is like the best season of all time. And since they have returning people on that season, I'm making sure I watch all of the seasons that have the people that go on Micronesia so I can be like all caught up. So anyway, that's me.
How many episodes do you blow through in a week?
Easily one season is like 12 episodes. So like sometimes like I'll get through like 2 seasons in a week. So like 24. And I can only, for some reason, watch them on my phone, the ones behind the Paramount Plus paywall. Yeah. Because it thinks that I have Paramount Plus on my phone, but I like don't. Anyway, so I just always am watching it on my phone. It's like in my pocket all the time. Whenever I'm bored, whenever I'm like watching my face. So
it's weird to watch Jeff Probst. It's weird to watch Jeff Probst get older. Like, it is weird. Like, I was watching this new season and he's like an attractive man, but like, it's weird. Like, I realize I'm going to watch all of my idols get old, like including myself. Like, we're just watching people get old on television. Like, it would have been the same way if Chris Harrison hadn't gotten fired on The Bachelor. We would have watched him get old. But Jeff Probst is our last remaining like host that has been with this show from the beginning.
And he's so good. He's
great.
Good at what it's not an easy show to host. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately.
You want to know what you're playing? Hey, you want to know what you're playing for?
Want to know what you're playing for?
Flint is the key to this game. It is the life source.
Wins reward. Come on in, guys.
I love him so much. It'll be like, well, that's a first on Survivor. This is a very dramatic fire ceremony. I love him.
Jessica falling behind.
Yeah, Jessica. Are you just giving up? Oh, you're giving up, team. Come on.
Oh my God, I love that man.
Anyways, Sophie, have a great tasting tomorrow. We wish you luck
you.
and all the well wishes. And you guys, thank you so much for being here. And there'll be new shows all week. We got some really fun surprises. Jesse Solomon hopefully has not listened to this and will come on Wednesday.
Oh God.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
That was awesome.